matchup featuring the visiting Yale Bulldogs from the Ivy League and your Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. And now get your scorecards ready. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visitors from Yale. Leading off and playing center field, number 28, Caden Dosa. Batting second, the left fielder, number 1, Garrett Larson. Batting third in right field, number 31, Chance Chaplin. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 5, Jack Dowd. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 24, Chris DePrima. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 9, Colin Turner. Batting seventh, at shortstop, number 13, Jackson Hayes. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 12, Bryce Miller. Rounding out the 9 for Yale, the second baseman, number 10, Paul Sloan. And on the mound for the Bulldogs, warming up in the bullpen, the right-hander, number 17, Jack Bowman. Yale is coached by pitching coach Chris Wadrick, hitting coach Corey Keene, and assistant coach Trevor Wren. The director of baseball operations is Pat O'Neill, and the director of baseball instruction is Joe Espinosa. The head coach of the Bulldogs in his 4th season is Brian Ham. And now, the starting lineup for your Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Leading off and playing second base, number 29, Eric Almonte. Batting second, the third baseman, number 36, Andre Martinez. Batting third in left field, number 1, Darryl Lee. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 33, Jorge Rodriguez. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 14, Armani Newton. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 2, Jeter Bueno. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 44, Jose Fernandez. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 10, Michael Losena. Rounding out the 9 for the Wildcats, the center fielder, number 18, Sergio Rivera. And on the mound for the Wildcats, the right-hander, number 34, Harvey Abreu. The assistant coaches for Bethune-Cookman are Derek CatEye, Joel Sanchez, Hunter Allen, and the graduate the head coach of the Wildcats in his 7th season is Johnny Hernandez. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Let's play ball.
Well, live from Jackie Robinson Ballpark in beautiful downtown Daytona Beach, Florida. It's time for the second weekend series of the year for Bethune-Cookman University Baseball here on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Cirillo. Happy to have your company. Flying solo on the broadcast this evening as the Wildcats entertain the Yale Bulldogs and one of the top pitching prospects in the country. Bethune-Cookman started out the year 2-2, taking 2 out of 3 from the Bradley Braves last weekend before dropping their first midweek contest on Tuesday here against FIU. The Yale Bulldogs, well, they're starting their season tonight, have not played a game yet as the entire Ivy League took the first week of the series off. The Bulldogs predicted to finish second in the Ivy. As again, the Wildcats will face Jack Oman, one of the top pitchers in the country. On the mound for the Wildcats, Harvey Abreu. After going just 4 innings in his first start, dealing with a little bit of a groin issue, he is back on the mound today, 7 days later. He went 4 innings, gave up no runs on 3 hits, struck out 5 in his season opener against Bradley. That was the season opener for the Wildcats. They won that game 2-1. They went on to score 17 runs in a blowout win last Saturday, and then last Sunday, they dropped 7-6 for their first loss, then fell to FIU in the midweek, 12-5. So Abreu will face Caden Dosa, the best returning bat for the Yale Bulldogs. Dosa, the junior out of Mill Valley, California. The right-hand hitter stands in. The Wildcats in the maroon caps, maroon jerseys, white pants. Wildcats in gold script across the front, gold numbers with a white trim. Yale in the all-blue caps and helmets. Jerseys, pants, white numbers with a white stripe down the side. First pitch is a fastball low and inside, ball 1 to Caden Dosa. Dosa, the best average on the Yale Bulldogs last year, batted .329 in 45 appearances. He fouls one away behind the grandstand off to the right. In 173 at-bats, he scored 49 runs on 57 hits, had 8 doubles, 3 triples, 6 homers, and knocked in 30 RBI. Struck out 54 times, walking just 23. Abreu deals the 1-1. Strike at the knees, strike 2. Wildcats have fielded the exact same 9 as they have for the first 4 contests. Strike 3. Dosa goes down looking on a breaking ball outside corner, and there's 1 away in the inning. And now here is Garrett Lawson, the junior out of Fairfield, Connecticut. Lawson last year batted .305 in 44 appearances, scoring 47 runs on 53 hits, 11 doubles, 3 triples, no homers, and 31 RBI, and he grounds 1 foul to the left-hand side of third. Larson last season slugged .402, struck out 21 times, walked 12, and was hit by a team second high 20 pitches. Here's Abreu's pitch, squaring to bunt and missing it is Larson, and he's down 0-2. Harbor String Abreu goes by Harvey as a junior from Orenestad, Aruba. And a transfer from Tallahassee Community College. Here's his 0-2. Ground ball towards short. Backhanded field by Poyeto across the diamond, not in time. The speedy Garrett Lawson beats it out. And there's 1 aboard with 1 out for Yale. That was a slow chopper toward the third base side. Strong throw across the body by Gita Poyeto. Just couldn't get it across in time. So now with 1 on, 1 out, here's Chase Chaplin, a spin and a throw back to first. Last season, Larson stole 16 bases on 23 attempts. Abreu will deal. Breaking ball towards third. On to second for one. Back to first. Double play. And that's the end of the inning. So the Wildcats infield goes 5-4-3. Gets them out of the jam. And we'll go to the bottom of the first. And as we wait for the bottom of the first inning, here is my pregame interview with Bethune-Cookman head coach Johnny Hernandez. Friday night. Coach, second week of the season, second time taking on a team beginning their season. Yale hasn't played a game before tonight. How difficult was scouting these guys that haven't played a game yet?
It's like everything, right? Like you take that with a grain of salt, so to speak. But you know what, man? Like our assistant coaches, the coaching staff, again, man, I rave about them every opportunity I can because, you know, they do a lot of stuff, you know, to get our guys ready. So as far as like the reports, I mean, thankfully, you know, we have the analytics, the video scouting, and we can kind of go back to, you know, at least the returners for the Yale Bulldogs and maybe some guys that they have where we have video and we're able to scout them up and just kind of get our best foot forward.
On Tuesday night, you started strong, took a 4-0 lead against FIU, but it was really some pitching struggles that cost you that game with some command issues. Is that one of those things that's, hey, it's early in the season, we're figuring things out, or is there something deeper lying there?
No, I mean, I don't want to give our guys a cop-out. You know, we obviously have to throw strikes, right? Like, we can't accept – it doesn't matter who you play. I think we had 8 walks and 6 hit by pitches, if I'm not mistaken, on Tuesday night. We've got to clean that up, regardless who's on the mound, whether it's guys that threw on the weekend or whether it's guys that hadn't had an opportunity. So they got to make the most of it. You know, we understand that it starts and ends on the mound, and we have to do a better job of throwing strikes.
Harvestring Abreu back on the mound tonight after only throwing 4 innings first time on the mound because of some injury issues. Is he good to go?
Yeah, he's good to go. You know, it was more of a precaution last week where he tweaked the growing. But through his, you know, lift this week and even his bullpen and his throwing sessions with Coach Sanchez, he feels 100%, so ready to rock and roll tonight.
You guys face a really big test on the mound. Jack Oman, projected to be one of a top MLB draft pick coming out of the Yale Bulldogs this year. What have you seen from him, and how are you planning to attack him offensively?
Elite strike thrower, you know, mid-90s arm, 4 pitches that he can throw for strikes. It's going to be a battle tonight, you know, and I like where we're at right now, and I think a guy like Ullman, for us, it really sets the bar of where we're at, you know, early in the season. So, you know, just looking forward to our guys that have quality at-bats, put some pressure on the defense, and if it's a low-scoring affair, then small ball is going to be the place to be at tonight. But, again, just looking forward to our guys having a good night today.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Good luck tonight.
You got it. Hail Wildcats.
We go to the bottom of the first. Eric Almonte leads off for Bethune-Cookman. The entire batting order for the Wildcats has started all 4 of their games previously. Almonte, in 16 at-bats, has 2 runs on 3 hits. The switch hitter, the first pitch from Jack Oman, is outside. Ball 1. Almonte is a switch hitter. He'll bat lefty against righties and righty against lefties. 1 RBI for Almonte. He's taken 2 walks, a hit by pitch, and has struck out 3 times. Oman deals, and Almonte fouls it back out of play. And it's 1-1. Eric Almonte, I'll read you his stats. You may not believe that they're not from a video game. Started 11 games last year, 12 appearances overall, was 8-1 with a 1.34 ERA. That was best of the country as Almonte watches the pitch upstairs for ball 2. 1 complete game shutout. Through 73 and 2/3 innings, allowed just 15 runs in 73 and 2/3 innings on 45 hits. 11 of those earned as Almonte's ahead in the count 3-1. Struck out 87, walking 20, allowed 9 doubles, no triples, 4 homers, and opponents had a 174 batting average against. Oman deals a 3-1. Upstairs, ball 4, and Almonte reaches first base. Eric Almonte also is tied for the team lead in stolen bases through the first week of the season. He has 2. Gina Poyeto also has 2, with Martinez and Darrell Lee each having 1. Here is Andre Martinez. 1 on, nobody out after the walk to Almonte. Oman deals. In the dirt, ball gets away from the catcher, skips all the way towards the Yale bullpen. Almonte takes a big turn at second, falls down, has to dive back in, and he is safe. Almonte losing his footing on the turf infield and had to scramble back as the catcher, Miller, for Yale, almost threw him out at second after he overran the base. But that ball did skip a fair way away. That one down and away to Martinez, and it's 2-0. Jack Oman, in his first appearance of the season, Yale playing their first game of the year, struggling for some command a little bit here early on. And now our athletic trainer is going to go out to have a chat with Eric Almonte. Perhaps he strained something trying to get back to second on that dive. Well, unsurprisingly, Jack Oman got a lot of preseason hype around the country. He was named to the Perfect Game and NCBWA preseason All-American teams and on the Golden Spikes Award preseason watch list. It's a bit of an odd weekend for both of these squads. They'll only play 2 games against each other, as Martinez ahead 2-0 in the count will stand back in. Almonte will put the helmet back on at second base and get ready to run. The count is 2 balls and no strikes on Andre Martinez. 5 runs on 5 hits through the first 4 games for Andre. Tipped into the glove, strike 1. 4 of those 5 hits were in the 17-1 blowout last Saturday against Bradley. 1 double, 1 RBI for Andre Martinez. The SWAC preseason player of the year. Swing and a miss with that mid-90s fastball down and away from Oman. And Oman's worked the count back to 2-2. Almonte on second, nobody out after a walk and a wild pitch. Oman, the righty from the stretch. Here's the 2-2. Martinez on the changeup, fouls it back. Andre Martinez, excellent a season ago. Of course, the walk-off home run to win the SWAC tournament, send the Wildcats to the NCAA tournament. He pops this one, foul on a play to the third base side. He'll stay alive, 2-2. Hit .353 last year. 57 runs on 72 hits, 14 doubles, a triple, 20 home runs, 1 shy of the single-season Bethune-Cookman all-time record, as the Wildcats as a squad belted 84 home runs last year. Once again, the 2-2 from Oman. Swing and a miss, ball in the dirt. Miller throws to DePrima at first, and there's 1 away. Andre Martinez a bit overly aggressive there.
All right, D. Lee, bring him home.
And now here is Darrell Lee. Lee, through the first week of the season, has been the Wildcats' most effective hitter. 13 at-bats, he has 6 runs on 7 hits. Both of those team highs. 2 doubles, 3 ribbies. He's taken 4 walks, a hit by pitch, and struck out twice. The second lefty that Oman has had to face after Almonte led off the game with a walk. Oman checks the runner and will go back to second. Almonte slides in there. Defensive alignment for Yale. Oman pitching, Miller catching. Gower at third, Hayes at short, Sloan at second, DePrima at first. As that one is up and in to Darrell Lee, 1-0. The outfield left to right for Yale is Larson, Dosa, and Chaplin. The 1-0 to Lee is a breaking ball strike. 1-1. With both teams' aces going tonight, Abreu for the Wildcats and Oman for the Bulldogs, we are anticipating a little bit of a lower scoring contest this evening. Lee watches strike two, a fastball at the knees, and it's 1-2. Lee trying to open the scoring here and bring Almonte in from second. Omen deals. Up and into Lee. And it's 2-2. Beautiful night for baseball in Daytona Beach. Sun has just gone down right before the start of the contest. As Omen's 2-2 is fouled away. We'll do it again. First pitch, 7 p.m. Weather is clear. 79 degrees at first pitch, going down to about 62, 63 as the game progresses. Wind is blowing lazily 7 miles an hour out towards left center. Once again, the 2-2 from Omen. Breaking ball, strike three called outside corner, 2 away. And the second strikeout in a row for Jack Omen. Here's Jorge Rodriguez, someone who has started the year pretty darn slow for his lofty standards. Was the best hitter on the team last year by average at .354. 37 runs on 57 hits, 14 doubles, 14 homers, and 46 RBI. Watching him strike low and away, 0-1, but he's only got 2 hits through the first 4 games, 1 double, 2 ribbies. He struck out twice, walked once, and had been hit by a pitch. Check swing, up and in. No swing is the call from the first base umpire. This is the first game of the season for the Yale Bulldogs, but no balls put in play yet. A walk and 2 strikeouts. Almonte goes, check swing. Check swing, he went around, that's a strike, but a stolen base for Almonte as he gets to third, 90 feet away, so a base knock for Rodriguez with 2 down would score the opening run. The Wildcats very strong early in the game on Tuesday, played at 4 runs in the first against FIU, but eventually lost 12-5. Rodriguez doesn't offer at the curve, and that's the end of the inning. 3 strikeouts, 2 of them looking after the opening walk by Omen. He is as advertised as we go to the second. No score here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. To the second inning we go. Both pitchers clean through the first. For Omen, of the Yale Bulldogs. It was 3 strikeouts. For Harvey Abreu of Bethune-Cookman, it was a strikeout and a double play. His first pitch is a ball low to Jack Dower from Royal Oak, Michigan. The sophomore now in his second season with the Bulldogs. He's the reigning Ivy League Rookie of the Year and was first-team All-Ivy a season ago. Fastball in on the hands, called a strike. Last season for Dower, batted .306. Started all 45 games for the Bulldogs. Breaking ball outside, 2-1. In 173 at-bats, he scored 27 runs on 53 hits. 7 doubles, 3 triples, 5 homers, and 39 RBI. Watches one inside, 3-1 now from Abreu to Dower. Struck out 33 times, walked 18, was hit by 2 pitches, and an on-base percentage of 37.1. He's ahead 3-1 in the count here, as Abreu has that one go off his glove, and he underhands the first after recovering nicely for out number 1.
The first baseman, number 24,
Chris DePrima will bat now for Yale. 1 away in the inning. DePrima, a junior from San Diego, California. First pitch to the righty from Abreu is a fastball strike. Did not appear in any games in the 2025 season, as he launches one over the head of Almonte at second. He's going to make a big turn at first, end up retreating with a single to right. So a 1-out single in each of the first 2 innings by Yale. 1 on with 1 out. Here's the designated hitter, Owen Turner. Turner, a sophomore from Oxford, Michigan. First pitch low and away, ball 1 to Turner. Turner appeared in 14 games last year with 8 starts for the Bulldogs, 29 at-bats, 3 runs on 4 hits. No extra base hits, 2 RBI. He chops one foul into the Wildcat dugout. Struck out 8 times, walked twice, an on-base percentage of 21.9. In limited action as a freshman for Owen Turner as they go back to check it first. Harvey Abreu on the mound. As I mentioned, a transfer from Tallahassee Community College, where he spent his first 2 years at the college level. Breaking ball did catch the outside corner. DePrima on first after a single to right. Inside and low from Abreu. Abreu trying not to lose Turner here, which he does inside. Michael Lucena is going to argue that Turner leaned into it. And Coach Hernandez out to argue his point. Now 2 on and 1 out as Yale threatens here in the second. We're going to have a meeting of the umpires. You only have one more chance to catch Bethune-Cookman basketball at Moore Gym. That is tomorrow afternoon, as the Wildcats take on the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. It'll be a men-women doubleheader. The women at 3, the men at 5:30. Tickets are available starting at just $10. You can get yours today at bcuathletics.com/tickets. Or you can call the ticket office at 386-481-2465. No change on the call by the officiating crew. 2 on, nobody out. Sorry, 2 on, 1 out, my apologies. And the batter is Jackson Hayes. So Abreu in a jam here. Bounces one to the plate, 1-0. Jackson Hayes, a freshman from Wiley, Texas, out of Plano East High School. First team all-district for Jackson. And his first college at bat, a chance for his first college RBI. But he's ahead on the count, 2-0 after that one misses inside. Yale picked second in the preseason poll in the Ivy League. If that throw to first had been better, they might have gotten Turner leaning. He was well off the bag, but the throw was above Rodriguez. Had to reach above his head for it. Now he is in a bit of discomfort trying to stretch out that glove arm. It came down on the back of Owen Turner, who's on first a little bit late. Abreu deals a fastball strike, 2-1. Yale finished tied for the Ivy League regular season title last year with Columbia. Columbia is the team picked ahead of them in the preseason poll. They won the Ivy League tournament. Swing and a miss by Jackson Hayes, and the count is 2-2. They ended up with a 31-14 record overall. First time they've won 30 games. Sorry, the third time they've won 30 games in program history. Chop foul outside of third. Count holds 2-2 on the freshman Jackson Hayes. Big spot here. In the top of the second, 1 out. DePrima on second, Turner on first after a single and a hit by pitch. Ground ball to short, fielded by Prieto. Underhand to second, across to first. Double play! It's the second inning-ending double play of the game, and the Wildcats get out of the jam. No runs, a hit, and 1 left. And we go to the bottom of the second. The Wildcats and the Bulldogs of Yale tied at 0 here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. We go to the bottom of the second. The Wildcats have used some nifty infield defense with 2 double plays to keep this a scoreless ball game going to the bottom of the second. As the senior transfer from Florida Gulf Coast 2 seasons ago finds himself on the ground after that one. Newton is down 0-2. In the first inning, Oman walked Derek Almonte to lead off for 3 strikeouts to keep the Wildcats off the board and strand Almonte on third. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 4 straight strikeouts for Jack Oman. He is as advertised here tonight.
The shortstop, number 2, Jeter Poyeto.
Here's Jeter Poyeto. Has one of the 2 home runs for the Wildcats so far this season. Had one last Saturday. Other than that, he's got 3 runs on 4 hits through 4 games. Line drive foul over the top of Coach Hernandez's head behind third base. Six RBIs for Jeter Poyeto. He leads the team. Has not struck out or been offered a free pass. Change up by Oman is high, 1-1. 4 straight Ks across the inning break for Jack Oman. The sophomore right-hander fires the ball over the catcher's head to the backstop. Oman's out of Mesa, Arizona, out of Brophy College Prep. First team all-region out in Arizona. Big cut miss. Poyeto tried to hold up as that one went up and out. 2 strikes on Poyeto. Jack is the son of Will Oman, a 10-year MLB veteran on the mound. Poyeto off the end of the bat stays alive. Jack is highly touted as a MLB prospect. We're seeing why tonight. Walk KKKK. And he's got Poyeto in a 2-strike count as well. Poyeto in the air, left center field and deep. Larson chasing, got the wall, and it's over the wall for a ground rule double. First bit of solid contact the Wildcats have had tonight, and Jeter Poyeto came up just shy of knocking his 2nd home run of the season. First extra base hit that wasn't that home run of the year for Jeter Poyeto. And now here's the reigning Southwestern Athletic Conference hitter of the week, Jose Fernandez. Has the other Wildcat home run this season. Hit one deep into the night on Sunday. The game the Wildcats ultimately lost to Bradley. First pitch strike at the knees. But Fernandez scored 5 runs on just 2 hits, 2 doubles, a homer. As he watches that one upstairs. And 5 RBIs, slugging at .714 through the first 4 games. Struck out twice, has not walked. An on-base percentage of 35.7. Of course, all of these statistics taken with massive caveats because we are only 5 games into the year for the Wildcats. Throw back to second. Poyeto is out. At least I thought he was out. Apparently not. So Poyeto escapes. And now here's the pitch to Fernandez. Line drive towards short. They go to third to try and cut down the lead runner. This time Poyeto is out. So a fielder's choice puts Fernandez aboard now with 2 down. And Jeter Poyeto, after a 1-out ground rule double and barely escaping, after almost being picked off at second, is out 6-5. 2 away, runner on first. The batter is the catcher, Michael Lucena. First pitch to him, chopped toward third. Fielded by Dower, cross the diamond, and that'll be the end of the inning. No runs, a hit, and 1 left. And we go to the 3rd inning. No score between the Bulldogs and the Wildcats here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. We move to the 3rd here from Jackie Robinson Ballpark. It's the season opening game for the Yale Bulldogs and the start of the 2nd weekend of the year for the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. No score. First pitch inside from Harvey Abreu to the catcher, Bryce Miller. Miller, a freshman from San Diego, California, tips it back to the screen, and it's 1-1. As a part of the MLB Develops program. High fly ball, right field and deep, going back, and that ball is caught at the wall by Newton. About 1.5 feet, 2 feet from being a first career home run and first career at bat for Bryce Miller. It's just a long out. And here's the 9-hole hitter, Colin Sloan. Sloan, the junior from Bel Air, Texas. As he bats with nobody on, 1 out here, top 3, no score. Ground ball to third, picked by Martinez behind the bag. Throws across on a hop, and the ball gets away. They're gonna throw to second and get him out. Heads up play by Michael Lucena. The catcher sprints all the way from behind first base, recovers the ball that was spiked by Martinez, and throws out Sloan at second. And now there's 2 away. We'll go back to the top of the order. Kaiden Dosa.
The center fielder, number 28, Kaiden Dosa.
Dosa struck out his first time up, the only strikeout victim for Harvey Abreu the first time through the order. He watches a breaking ball strike. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball low, 0-2. That play that got Sloan out, officially ruled single out 5-2-3-4. Check swing, he didn't go on a ball in the dirt, 1-2. Abreu trying to get the Bulldogs to go quietly for the first time. 2 inning-ending double plays have ended the top of the first and the second for Yale. Swing and a miss. 12-6 curve, got it. And a 1-2-3 go the Bulldogs. We go to the bottom of the third. No score here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Sergio Rivera, the 9-hole hitter, leads off the bottom of the third for the Wildcats. And a swing and a miss. He's ahead of the breaking ball from Jack Oman, and it's 0-1. Rivera, 13 at-bats through the first 4 games. A run on 4 hits, 2 RBI, struck out 5 times, walked 3. And he's behind 0-2 after a fastball up and in, swing and a miss. He does have the most strikeouts on the team through the first week, tied with Armani Newton with 5 each. The 0-2 from Oman, upstairs with the fastball, 1-2. Wildcats have stranded 2 through the first 2 innings. Eric Almonte walked in the first and was stranded on third. As here's the 1-2 to Rivera. Rivera off the end of the bat, foul, straight back. Then in the second, Poyedo got a ground rule double. Was called out at third on a fielder's choice by Jose Fernandez. Then Fernandez was stranded there by a ground out. Wildcats, on the other side, have had to use 2 inning-ending double plays to get out of jams in the first 2 innings. That one's tipped into the glove. And a 5th strikeout for the first 9 for Jack Oman. And we'll go back to the top of the order. Here's Eric Almonte. And I'm sure Oman will want the AB against Almonte back. Walked him on 5 pitches and wasn't particularly close, but then he locked in and has struck out 5 of the last 8 Wildcat hitters. Square into bunt as Almonte puts it down third base side. It will go foul. I talked to Coach Hernandez in my pregame interview, and he said that small ball may have to be a thing that we turn to tonight. If this game ends up being low scoring, which it very well looks like it might be, So the count is 0-1 on
Put it out there in right center.
Almonte. He watches a fastball in there for strike number 2. Big day all around for baseball fans. First spring training games officially started today. I was tuned into Yankees, Orioles, and Padres, Mariners this afternoon. Watched Pete Alonso hit his first home run in an Orioles uniform, and as someone with ties to New York, that one's a line drive caught by the shortstop Hayes for out number 2. Straight at Hayes. All he had to do was
The third baseman, number 36,
stick out his glove.
Martinez.
And here's Andre Martinez, who will definitely want the result of his first AB back. Was up in the count 2-0. Omen battled back to 2-2, and then Martinez swung out on a pitch in the dirt.
Time to get on the home run board, Andres.
Off the end of the bat, first pitch, fouled away. Omen up to 45 pitches will be his next one. On pace to go pretty deep here on opening night for Yale. Upstairs, 1-1 to Martinez. Harvesting Abreu through 3 innings, has thrown 34 pitches. Has given up 3 hits, but the defense has gotten him out of it with 2 double plays. Just 1 hit for the Wildcats so far, the ground rule double by Poyeto. Martinez to right field, and it is off the glove of Chaplin and goes to the wall. Martinez flying around first. He's gonna get to second with a stand-up 2-out double. Chaplin backpedaled, stuck up his glove, and it went off of it.
The left fielder.
Could not secure the ball. That was hard hit by Martinez. Officially ruled a double. And now here's Darrell Lee. For the second time in the game, has an RBI opportunity. Batted with Eric Almonte on second, and then eventually third after a steal back in the first with 2 down. Here's the pitch. Bounce to the plate. I mean, Martinez not the quickest guy in the world out there at second, so this would have to be gapped pretty far for him to comfortably make it home. Darrell Lee does have 3 ribbies on 7 hits through the first 4 games. Looking to make it a little bit more here against Omen. The Wildcats have put 1 on base in every inning. That one upstairs. 2-0 to Lee. Darrell, now a senior out of Troy, Alabama. Transferred to the Wildcats last year out of Coastal Alabama Community College. One of the top contributors for the Wildcats a season ago. He swings and misses through the breaking ball. Lee at .299 average a season ago. 46 RBI, 49 runs on 61 hits, 9 homers, 13 doubles. Time called by the home plate umpire.
Watch it all the way through, D.
Count is 2-1 from Omen to Lee with Martinez on seconds, 2 outs here in the third. And it's 2-2, fastball outside corner. Once again, a solid crowd out here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark on a Friday night. The 2-2 to Lee. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 6 for Jack Allman. The Wildcats strand a runner for the 3rd time in 3 innings as we go to the 4th. Still no score between the Bulldogs and the Wildcats here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. To the fourth inning we go here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. The Wildcats of Bethune-Cookman and the Bulldogs of Yale tied at 0. Big 12-6 curve drops in for a strike to Garrett Lawson. Lawson singled to the shortstop his first time up. It was a slow bouncer. And Lawson's got a ton of speed on him, and Poyeto missed it out by half a step. Another breaking ball lands in the dirt, 1-1. Harvey Abreu last year at Tallahassee Community College, 15 appearances, 13 starts, 5-5 with a 7.30 ERA in 53 innings. Averaged over 11 strikeouts per 9. Fastball low, 2-1. Also last year played at the Under-23 European Championship with the Netherlands. Able to do that because he is from the territory of Aruba. Check swing, tap foul, 2-2. Then the ERA and the record don't really jump off the page, 7.30 ERA. But the 65 strikeouts to 14 walks really does, as well as the 11.4 K per 9. Breaking ball outside. Now Abreu has thrown a steady diet of curveballs here to Garrett Lawson, now on a 3-2 count. Fastball grounded to third under the glove of Martinez and into left field. Lawson is going to try and go to second. The throw is not in time, and that's a double down the third base line. Lead off for Garrett Lawson. He is one of the quickest players that I've seen come through Jackie Robinson Ballpark in quite a while. And Yale now set up to try and open the scoring here in the fourth inning. Batter will be Chase Chaplin, who grounded into a 5-4-3 double play to end the first inning. And Strand won. First pitch just low by Abreu. For the second straight inning, Harvey Abreu in a tough spot. Had 2 on with 1 out in the second, used a double play to get out of it. Breaking ball crosses the zone for strike 1. Pitch to Chaplin, squares to bunt, drops it foul. And he's out. So there's 1 away and a big boon for the Wildcats. They'll call him out on batter's interference. Brian Ham, his 4th season as the head coach of Yale, out to argue, and now the umpiring crew will get together. Wildcats are hoping this one sticks. Yale are still in a very good spot. Garrett Lawson on second after a leadoff double, a hard grounder down the third base line that Andre Martinez couldn't glove. And Lawson's fast enough that he'll be coming home on anything that sniffs the outfield. An all-turf field here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark, with the exception, and the out call stands, with the exception of the pitcher's mound and the area around home plate. Both of those are dirt. And now with 1 away, Jack Dower will bat, grounded out back to the pitcher, and a ball that ricocheted off Abreu's glove in the second inning. Dower in the air, left center field. That's going to get down and head to the wall, and Yale is going to open this ball game up. Lawson in from second to score the opening run. Replacing him is Dower, and it's 1-0 Bulldogs. Back-to-back doubles sandwiched around the batter's interference call. And Yale takes a 1-0 lead, and it was only a matter of time the way that the Bulldogs have been hitting the ball here early on in this game. Now up to 5 hits against Harvey Abreu here with 1 away in the 4th. The batter is Chris DePrima, who singled off the end of the bat over the second baseman's head into shallow rights his first time up. He's ahead in the count 1-0. And 2-0 as that breaking ball misses low and in. A run on 5 hits for Yale. No runs on 2 hits for the Wildcats, but have stranded 2 runners in scoring position out of the 3 they've stranded altogether. Another one in the dirt from Abreu. 3 balls, no strikes. The 3-0 to DePrima. Fastball down the middle. DePrima, the junior from San Diego. Has got Dower on second after his RBI double. That one in the air to center field. It will hang up in the air long enough for Rivera to make the catch. He fires in. And moving from second to third is Dower on the advancement. So now a runner 90 feet away, and with 2 away in the inning, here is Owen Turner. Turner walked his first time up, was part of the 4-6-3 double play hit into by Jackson Hayes that ended the second inning. Turner on the ground is short, and it goes off the glove of Jeter Poyeto. Scoring from third is Dower, and it's 2-0 Yale. Well, the defense of Jeter Poyeto once again comes back to bite the Wildcats. He made 2 costly errors in the 7-6 loss against Bradley last Sunday that were almost directly responsible for 5 of the Bradley runs. And that's another potential inning ender that he has let slip. And that directly cost the second run for Yale, and it's 2-0. Two pickoffs to first. Turner slides back in. The batter is Jackson Hayes, who grounded into a 6-4-3 double play to end the second inning, his first time up. That one closer, but he still slides in safely, does Turner. Another pick over there to first. That's something that grinds my gears a little bit. With 2 outs, focus on the batter. Get the batter, you get out of the inning. The runner on first doesn't matter. Abreu now comes home with it, and there's a strike on the inside corner to Jackson Hayes. Abreu now north of 50 pitches. Another check over to first. Wildcats down 2-0 after Back-to-back doubles from Lawson and Dower. Scored Lawson. And then an error by Jeter Poyeto at short off the bat of Owen Turner scored Dower. Abreu, the 1-1 to Hayes, will have to wait. They go to first, safe again. That's the fourth pickoff of this AB. Can't do that in the professional ranks anymore. You only are allowed 3 disengages. High pop on the infield. Jeter Poyeto calling for it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. 2 runs, 2 hits, an error, and 1 left. The Bulldogs jump on top. It's 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Bethune-Cookman looking at a deficit for the first time today. I mean, it's 2-0 Yale. And Jorge Rodriguez will lead the inning off for the Wildcats. Struck out his first time up. One of 6 strikeout victims for Jack Oman so far. He tips 1 foul. Oman has been as advertised tonight. Wildcats have 2 hits, both doubles. A ground rule double by Jeter Poyeto in the 2nd, and a double to right field by Andre Martinez in the 3rd. The only other Wildcat base runner was a walk in the 1st inning to Eric Almonte. One and 1 the count on Rodriguez. Was the most consistent hitter for the Wildcats a year ago, but has started this season very slowly with the bat. Just 2 hits through 13 at-bats. Oman calls for time. And the righty deals. High pop. Just outside the infield to the left-hand side. Going out is Hayes. He's called off, and Larson makes the catch for out number 1. That'll be Armani Newton, who struck out to begin the 2nd.
The right fielder, number 14, Armani Newton.
Went down 2-0 on 2 pitches, battled back to a 2-2 count, and then struck out on a check swing. His first time up. Righty to lefty, here's the first pitch from Oman. Check swing, did he go? Yes, and Armani Newton continues to be frustrated by the check swings. That is the 3rd check swing called strike on him in now 2 at-bats.
Let's get it.
Newton squares to bunt, pulls it back. This time he got the bat back in time, 1-1.
Let's get you one, Lonnie.
Well, if anybody's gonna bunt with the bases empty, Armani Newton is probably one of the ones you'd want to be doing it. Other than that, I think Darrell Lee would be the only other one in this Wildcat order that I'd trust to beat out a throw to first. Newton swings and it misses. Big hack at the curveball. And it's 1-2. Newton last year struck out 35 times at 146 at-bats. Also had 39 runs on 39 hits. Watches one low, and it's 2-2. Walked 23 times, was hit by 8 pitches. Crushed 9 home runs. Although 6 of those were early in the season before conference play started. Had 3 in a weekend early last season. He has got excellent pull power to right field. But he swings and misses at a fastball up and away. Strikeout number 7 for Omen. 2 outs in the inning, and here's one of the 2 Wildcats that has a hit tonight. Jeter Poyeto smashed a ground rule double to left center field with 1 away in the second. Ended up being thrown out shortstop to third base on a fielder's choice. Check swing. Ball down and away. And he was judged to have swung, so it's a strike, 0-1 on Poyeto. Omen quickly into his delivery and gets Poyeto to swing and miss at a fastball upstairs, 0-2. Wildcats have not gone 1-2-3 yet in the game. Have gotten a runner on in at least every inning. Until now, curveball inside, strike 3. Jack Omen is dominating right now. 1-2-3 go the Cats. We go to the 5th on just 63 pitches as the Bulldogs lead 2-0 here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV.
Top of the 5th for Yale, the catcher, number 12, Bryce Miller.
We go to the 5th, 2-0 Bulldogs after they plated 2 in the 4th on 2 doubles and an error. Harvey Abreu still on the hill for the Wildcats. Breaking ball low and in. 53 pitches through 4 for Abreu. In his first outing of the season. He threw 62 pitches through 4. There's a ball. Has struggled a tad with command. Has been behind a lot of counts, especially the last 2 innings. There's a fastball strike outside corner, 2-1. Some very light stretching and movement going down in the Wildcat bullpen. Fastball down the middle for strike 2. Bryce Miller flew out to right field his first time up. As he swings and misses, ball in the dirt, Lucena collects and throws him out. For outs, number 1. So Miller, still awaiting his first college hit, was about 2 feet short of the wall on that fly out in the 3rd inning. And now it'll be Colin Sloan, the 9-hole hitter, singled to 3rd in the 3rd, but then was thrown out trying to extend it to a double after a misplay at 1st. Breaking ball, strike 1, caught the outside corner. Colin Sloan, the junior from Bel Air, Texas. Played his high school ball at Strake Jesuit. Scored 3 runs in 11 appearances last year for Yale. Started 2 games. Bounced to the plate by Abreu. Then in his freshman year in 2024, had 22 appearances with 13 starts, had 7 RBI. Colin Sloan is ahead in the count, 2-1. Breaking ball, strike, caught the outside corner, 2-2. Carbon copy of the first strike of the AB. Swing and a miss. Sloan well ahead of that 12-6 curve. And harvesting Abreu has 2 straight strikeouts to begin the 5th. Now 2 away, the lineup turns over, and Caden Dosa bats now. Dosa has struck out twice, looking in the 1st and swinging in the 3rd. As the Bulldogs begin their 3rd time through the order. Ahead 2-0. Abreu continues to use the curveball as his main pitch as he gets strike 1 on Dosa. Dosa, the best Yale Bulldog at the plate last year, as he swings and misses at the fastball down and away. A .329 average. Slugged over 500 at .514, got on base at 42.4%. But he goes down looking for the 2nd time tonight. 3 strikeouts for harvesting Abreu as he Ks the side of the 5th. We go to the bottom of the inning, still 2-0 Bulldogs here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. We go to the bottom of the 5th here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. Bethune-Cookman 0, Yale 2. The Wildcats have been limited to just 3 base runners and 2 hits through the first 4 innings. By a beautiful start by one of the best pitchers in all of college baseball, Jack Oman. First pitch, a fastball strike. Jose Fernandez leads off for the Cats. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second, was stranded there. Oman just 63 pitches through 4 innings. He gets Fernandez to swing and miss at a high fastball. Wildcats have really chased the high fastball tonight. And that was one of the things that they struggled with at the back end of last season in the NCAA tournament. Swing and a miss, that one down low. A 3-pitch strikeout, and Fernandez is down. Strikeout number 9 for Jack Oman. Harvey Abreu on the other side has not pitched bad. He's given up 2 runs, just 1 earned. Walked 1, struck out 5. But when you only got 2 hits and 3 total base runners with 1 away in the 5th inning, you know you're watching something special. Oman deals the first pitch to Michael Lucena. Missed it outside, and it's 1-0. Getting into the territory where we're starting to talk about complete game shutout for Oman. Breaking ball finds the zone, 1-1. He's the reigning Ivy League Pitcher of the Year as just a freshman. National Pitcher of the Year semifinalist, the best in the entire NCAA in ERA, and a 134 last year. Started his college career by pitching 35 scoreless innings. Michael Lucena watches one down the middle for strike 2. He's also the ECAC pitcher of the year and the perfect game college freshman of the year. Off the end of the bat, foul. Lucena stays alive. Lucena grounded out to third his first time up. This is a very important season, or series early in the season for Bethune-Cookman. As check swing, Lucena holds on, the count runs full. Because this Yale team is a team like we saw in Northeastern last year in the regionals that you could very well see in day 2 of a regional. Upstairs, ball 4. Only the second walk of the day issued by Oman. Michael Lucena is aboard, and the Wildcats have a 1-out base runner. The only other walk was the first batter that Oman faced in the game, Eric Almonte. He reached second on a wild pitch, stole third, and was stranded there. And now here's the senior, one of the leaders on this team, Sergio Rivera. 1 on, 1 out. First pitch to him. Bounce to the plate. Great job by Miller behind the plate to stop that one from going to the backstop. If you're new to watching games here at the Jack, the backstop very far away from home plate. And so if a ball gets away, you're pretty much guaranteed to give up a base or a run if there's a runner on third. Breaking ball low and away. Rivera struck out his first time up. That was on one of those high fastballs I mentioned. Just couldn't catch up to it. And now time called as we're going to get a meeting on the mound. Probably nothing serious here for Yale. Nobody in the bullpen right now for the Bulldogs. This is just a chance for pitching coach Chris Walczyk to head out there and say hello. Just say, hey, man, you got this. We believe in you. Bulldogs are in their 4th season under head coach Brian Ham. Under Ham in 2024, they won the regular season title. Correction, they won that in 2025, not 2024. It was their first regular season championship since 2017 in the Ivy League. Pitch to Rivera is outside. Prior to Yale, Brian Ham was the head coach at Eastern Connecticut. And Amherst College at the Division III level. Ball outside, that's ball 4. Gets away from the catcher. Lucena takes a turn at second and will hold there. So 2 straight walks. And the Wildcats have 2 runners on for the first time in the game. And we go back to the top of the order. Here's Eric Almonte. He walked his first time up, ended up being stranded on third, then lined out softly to the shortstop in the third. And the Yale bullpen starts their stretching and arm activation down the first base line in that bullpen. First pitch, strike at the knees on Almonte. Eric Almonte has 1 RBI so far this season. Lucena on second, Rivera on first. The 0-1. In the air to center field, well hit. Tracking back is Dosa. He makes the catch, and the runners will have to retreat. Really nice defensive play by Dosa out in center as he backpedals and hangs on to it. And there's 2 away in the inning. And here is the man you want up in situations like this. Andre Martinez. 20 home runs a year ago. One off the single season Bethune-Cookman record. Hit the walk-off home run to win the Wildcats the SWAC championship. Doesn't need to do that here, just needs to put one on the outfield. Off the inside of the bat, that's into the area of uncertainty, and it's gonna get down in front of the center fielder. Here's the throw to the plate. It's cut off, and the ball gets away from the catcher. Scoring is Lucena. Now in, here's Rivera, and the Wildcats have tied the game. It's 2-2. Andre Martinez comes through and gives the Wildcats life here on Friday night. Not the prettiest swing in the world, it was ugly. Just in off the hands, muscled over the shortstop and into shallow left center. Lucena scores, Rivera scores, and it is 2-2. Now with 2 away, the batter is Darrell Link with a chance to give the Wildcats the lead. First pitch to Lee, low in the dirt. Lee is struck out twice, looking in the first, swinging in the third. Breaking ball strike, the knees on Lee. That is officially a single by Martinez that scored Lucena. Then he advanced to second, and Rivera came home on an error by the catcher, Miller. To tie this game at 2. Pitch to Lee. Upstairs, 2-1. Two ball, 1 strike count. The pitch from Oman to Lee. Lee swings and misses at a fastball low, and it's 2-2. Omen up to 80 pitches. This is his longest inning of the game, as he's thrown 20 pitches just in this inning alone. Nobody throwing in the Yale bullpen yet, just some stretching and moving around. Swing and a miss. He got Lee on the high outside fastball to end the frame. 2 runs, a hit, and an error. And the Wildcats tie this game at 2 as we go to the 6th here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. To the 6th we go here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. The Wildcats play 2 in the bottom of the 5th on a hit, 2 walks, and an error. And Garrett Lawson will stand in. Larson, 2 for 2. Singled on the infield in the first, doubled down the third base line in the 4th. Harvey Abreu still on the hill for the Wildcats, gets him to swing and miss. And that signature 12-6 curve. Abreu K'd the side in the 5th after giving up 2 runs, one of them earned in the 4th. That was when the Bulldogs took the lead. Abreu deals. Breaking ball off the outside corner, 0-2. It's a full Friday of SWAC baseball action around the conference. That one bounced to the plate, 1-2. A lot of SWAC schools are in Vero Beach, Florida this weekend at the Andre Dawson Classic. That's where both of these teams will be tomorrow. The Wildcats will get a SWAC championship rematch against Florida A&M as that fastball misses upstairs, 2-2. Currently, they're playing Alabama State right now down in Vero. Yale will play Jackson State tomorrow before these two will finish their pseudo 2-game series on Sunday afternoon. Count is full, 3-2. After Abreu couldn't get Larson to chase the last couple of balls in the dirt. Slow chopper in front of the mound. That's going to be trouble. Lucena to first, not in time. Garrett Larson has shown off the speed tonight. He has 3 hits, 1 an infield chopper to short, a double down the left field line, and now one that he barely got a piece of right in front of the plate. And he has used his speed to get to first every time. And he has the first run, first of the 2 runs that Yale scored in the 4th. He doubled, then came home on the Jack Gower double. Here's Chase Chaplin Been a rough night at the plate for Chaplin. Grounded into an inning-ending double play in the first, then was called out on batter's interference in the fourth. First pitch from Abreu, curveball strike. Some scores around the SWAC from earlier today at the Andre Dawson Classic. Jackson State beat Texas Southern 3-2. Southern beat up on Grambling State 13-3. Been a good start to the season for the Southern Jaguars. And as I mentioned, Florida A&M and Alabama State playing right now. That's on MLB Network. I'll try and catch a score for you in an inning break. Ground ball to third, snagged by Martinez. To second for one, the turn to first, double play! The Wildcats have turned 3 infield double plays in the game. That's the second 5-4-3 started by Martinez. And the second 5-4-3 DP that Chaplin has hit into. Now 2 away, here's Jack Dower. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, takes a strike. Dower grounded out to the pitcher in the first, then had an RBI double in the fourth to open the scoring, came around to score on the error by Jeter Poyeto later in that inning. Breaking ball, called strike on the inside corner as Dower turned away from it. Harvey Abreu deals. Chop foul on a breaking ball. But Abreu's going to have to buy his infield a steak dinner after tonight. They have turned 3 double plays, 2 of them inning enders. Fastball hit the other way, foul over the bullpen. Other scores in the SWAC today. Houston Christian is up 6-0 on Alcorn State. That game is in the top of the fourth. Incarnate Word defeats Prairie View 7-2. Chop foul at the plate. 2 strikes on Dower. Arkansas Pine Bluff defeats Stephen F. Austin 6-3. That was SFA's first loss of the year. I mean, I've been saying it, and we've been saying it on the Hail Wildcats radio podcast, that UAPB is going to be a major threat in the league this year. Swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt. Lucena collects and completes the strikeout. The Wildcats turn another double play to get around the infield hit by Larson. We go to the bottom of the 6th, tied at 2 here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. We go to the bottom of the 6th, tied at 2 here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. And a new pitcher for the Yale Bulldogs. Fires a breaking ball in the dirt. First pitch to Jorge Rodriguez. The new pitcher is Teo Spadaccini, the junior from Lexington, Massachusetts, now in his 3rd season with the Yale baseball program. Up and in, ball 1. Final line on Oman, 5 innings through 85 pitches. Allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 of them earned. Struck out 10 and walked 3. Those walks eventually came around to hurt him because 2 of those walks came in to score. Fastball just missed from Spadaccini. And Jorge Rodriguez, who was 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout to left, is up 3 balls, no strikes in the counts. The righty deals. Spike to the plate, 4-pitch walk. Coach Hernandez likes to talk all the time about getting to the bullpen and punishing teams with light bullpens. And you can do that in the SWAC, where bullpen quality past the first 1 or 2 guys is questionable. But against this Yale team, I'm not sure they're going to be able to do that much. But we shall see. Here's Armani Newton. Struck out twice tonight, both against Oman. Spadaccini, a 2-time varsity letter winner at Central New England Prep Baseball League at Phillips Academy in Andover, Massachusetts. His first pitch is low, ball 1 to Newton. Last season was 1-1 in 10 appearances, Spadaccini. Throwback to first, Rodriguez dives back. Had an 8.53 ERA through 12 2/3 innings, allowed 12 runs on 11 hits, all earned, striking out 12 and walking 6. Allowed 1 home run as his only extra base hit and an opponent batting average of .224. But he has thrown 5 straight balls to start his 2026 season. Quick meeting on the mound. Miller and Dower going over to just tap him on the shoulder and say, hey man, we're still in this. As Armani Newton will look at a 1-0 pitch coming next with Jorge Rodriguez on first after a leadoff walk. That one's a strike at the knees, 1-1. These 2 teams will run it back on Sunday at 1 o'clock is the scheduled time, as they both will head down to the Andre Dawson Classic tomorrow. Throw back to first. Yale will play Jackson State. The Wildcats will take on Florida A&M in a rematch of the 2025 SWAC Championship. The 1-1 to Newton. Spadaccini comes home with it. In the air to right field. That's ripped down the line and is going to one-hop to the wall. Newton in with a stand-up double. And standing on third is Jorge Rodriguez. The Wildcats are in business. Second and third. Nobody out here in the 6th. I have been waiting for Armani Newton to make contact like that all season long, as he struck out 7 times in his first 14 ABs. But that time he laced one down the first base line for a double. And now here's Jeter Poyeto, who hit a ground rule double in the 2nd, one of only 3 hits allowed by Jack Oman through 5. We will see if Yale makes a very quick pull to the bullpen here after only 7 pitches by Teo Spadaccini, or they're going to try and let him work out of this 2nd and 3rd nobody out situation. And they are not. We are going to go to the bullpen, as just 7 pitches by Spadaccini gives up a walk and a double. And his opening outing of the season is done. Do you love Bethune-Cookman University sports? Of course you do. Then don't miss Hail Wildcats Radio, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of all 15 Wildcat sports programs. Hosted by voice of the Wildcats, Michael Torillo, and featuring the expertise of Bethune-Cookman sports information staff. Hail Wildcats Radio delivers unparalleled coverage of your favorite teams. Tune in to 1380 WELE Daytona Beach every Saturday to catch the show live, or listen anytime on your favorite podcast platform. New episode drops tomorrow before the home finale for Wildcat women's and men's basketball. So you can catch the new episode of the podcast and tune into Wildcat basketball for their final home games. Shout out to Bethune-Cookman softball as they upended Utah yesterday, 8-7 out in California at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Unfortunately, ran into the buzzsaw that was Texas Tech this afternoon. But already a great trip out to California for the Cats is every year. It's primarily a recruiting trip for Laura Watton. The Wildcats get to see some of the best competition in the country. And on a team with 17 freshmen this year and only 4 returners, a great learning and bonding experience for them as well. Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. You can gear up at the newest BCU Nike gear at nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. So just 7 pitches for Spadaccini. And the new pitcher is the senior out of Flower Mound, Texas, Tate Evans. Evans was an All-Ivy League honorable mention last season, was first in the Ivy League in appearances with 22 and saves with 4. He also finished 3rd in the Ivy in ERA, 3.19, 5th in opposing batting average, 2.45, struck out 53 batters in 48 innings pitched. So they have gone to the biggest of big guns that they have in the bullpen to try and keep this game tied in the 6th. The Wildcats with Rodriguez on 3rd and Newton on 2nd. Nobody out. The batter is Gita Poyeta, who already has a ground rule double tonight. The first pitch is a ball outside from Evans. Evans originally from Flower Mound, Texas, out of Marcus High School. The 0-1 to Poyetto. It gets to the backstop. Here comes Rodriguez. The throw is in time. Rodriguez is out. Well, I did say early in the broadcast that it's almost a guaranteed run if the ball gets to the backstop with a man on 3rd. Unfortunately, Jorge Rodriguez is maybe the slowest man on the team, and he could not scamper all the way home, and there's one away, and the Wildcats, will they live to rue that opportunity? The 2-0 to Poyetto. Now Newton is on 3rd. Poyetto lifts it in the air to right field. Chaplin tracking, catching, Newton racing home. Here's the throw. It's well behind the plate. The Wildcats do take the lead as Newton scores on the sac fly. Bethune-Cookman leads 3-2. But will they rue that missed chance for 4? Jose Fernandez now bats with 2 outs and the bases empty. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd, then struck out on the 5th. Fastball down the middle, strike 1 from Evans. Fernandez down the line. If that's fair, it's gone. It is foul. Oh, boy. Jose Fernandez got all of that one, was just a little bit out in front. He hit a very similar type ball powerful line drive for a home run last Saturday. But now he's behind 0-2 against Evans, who's trying to get out of the inning, just giving up one run, and it would be a really big hit for Yale to give up only one out of this situation. Outside, tough take by Fernandez, and it's 1-2. Evans deals. Fouled away, still 1-2. Wildcats have taken the lead. Teo Spadaccini started the inning on the mound, gave up a walk and a double, was replaced by Evans. A ball got to the backstop. Fernandez was cut down at home. Swing and a miss. Fernandez goes down, and that's the end of the inning. A run on a hit, and nobody left. The Wildcats will rue their missed chances. They lead for the first time tonight, 3-2, as we go to the 7th here on the CatEye Radio Network. We'll meet the new Wildcat pitcher when we come back. We go to the 7th inning. The Wildcats played a run in the bottom of the 6th to lead 3-2. Harvey Abreu goes 6 innings, 80 pitches, gives up 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 earned, striking out 6 and walking 1. And he hands over to his fellow Aruban, Byron Rincones, also out of Arenestad. Rincones making his 2nd appearance on the mound this year. Pitched in the 7-6 loss to Bradley last Sunday, went 2 innings there. Didn't allow a run or a hit, struck out 2, walked 3. His first pitch is a fastball down Broadway to Chris DePrima for strike 1. DePrima 1 for 2, singled off the end of the bat to shallow right in the 2nd, and then flew out to center in the 4th. For the first time today, the Yale Bulldogs looking at a deficit. That one comes up and in 1-1. Rincones, a transfer from Northwest Florida State. 15 appearances last season, was 2-3 with a 3.30 ERA in 36 innings. Breaking ball misses well outside, 2-1. 37 strikeouts, 14 walks, 4 saves with a 925 K per 9. He's a junior this year. The 2-1-2 to Prima. That's another one that's off the end of the bat to right field. That's a carbon copy of his single in the second. And for the second time in as many innings, Yale leads off with a single. The Bulldogs have hit the ball tonight. They have 7 hits. Only 1 run and 1 earned run. Here's Owen Turner, the designated hitter. He walked in the second, was caught in the middle of a double play, then reached on an error in the fourth. That was the Gito Poyeto error that ended that inning, that failed to end that inning and allowed Jack Gower to score, at that time making it 2-0 Bulldogs. He's got Chris DePrima, potential tying run on first with nobody out here in the 7th against the new Wildcat pitcher Byron Rincones. Squares to bunt, puts it down, left side of the mound. Rincones across to first in time. 1 away, but Turner does the job, gets some applause from his dugout as he moves the runner across. Now a runner in scoring position with 1 down. Here's the shortstop, Jackson Hayes. Hayes 0 for 2, grounded into a double play to end the second and popped up on the infield to end the fourth. First pitch is low, ball 1. Jackson Hayes looking for his first college hit, his first college RBI potentially here. Ground ball, that gets through to the left-hand side. Coming around third is DePrima. The throw to the plate is wide of third, and Yale has tied the game. Base hit and an RBI for Jackson Hayes, both the first of his college career, scores DePrima, and we are tied at 3. Both teams jumping on the bullpens here in the late innings. It was tied at 2 and both starters left, so both get the no decision. 1 away in the 7th. Hayes on first. Here's the catcher, Bryce Miller, who's 0 for 2. Flew out to right in the 3rd, barely missed a home run, and then struck out in the 5th. This is also his first college game. Swing and a miss ahead of the breaking ball. It's now a 3-3 game here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. First of a 2-game set between the Bulldogs and the Wildcats this weekend. There's a breaking ball strike from Rincones. The first 2 hits and first run that Rincones has allowed this year. He'll now try and keep this game tied. Go back to first. Sliding in is Jackson Hayes. Bryce Miller, a freshman from San Diego, looking for his first collegiate hit. And it's a line driver towards second and under the glove of Almonte, and he'll have it. Three singles in the inning for Yale as Rincones is being teed up on by the Bulldogs. Now here's the 9-hole hitter Colin Sloan, and the Wildcats will now look for their 4th double play of the game to try and get out of this jam. Sloan singled to third in the 3rd, then was caught out trying to extend it to a double. He bunts it. They'll go to first. And the runners will advance. Hayes to third, Miller to second. And now Caden Dosa, the best hitter for Yale last year, has gone 0 for 3 tonight with 3 strikeouts against Harbor-String Abreu. But Abreu is out of the game, and now it's Rincones trying to keep the Bulldogs off the board. Chop foul, first pitch on a breaking ball. Dosa had 30 RBI last year. 5th on the team in runs batted in. Two outs, second and third, tie game at 3. Rincones steps off and calls time. And he's hearing it from the Yale dugout. 3 singles in the inning, 1 to right, 1 on the infield, and 1 to left. Breaking ball up the middle, that's gonna get through. Yale takes the lead back, and it's gonna be 2 more. Rincones couldn't barehand it. Hayes scores, Miller scores, and it is 5-3 Yale.
Now batting number 1, Garrett Larson.
Byron Rincones is going to be allowed to face Garrett Larson, who's 3 for 3. 2 infield singles and a double down the left field line on a run scored. Fastball strike. The count is 1-1. They called Rincones for a pitch clock violation before the first pitch. Runner goes. Ball outside. They'll let Dosa have second on a stolen base. And they called him out on batter's interference. The second batter's interference call against Yale tonight. That'll end the inning, but 3 runs on 4 hits, all singles, give the Yale Bulldogs a 5-3 lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch here at the Jack. We'll be back after this on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Michael Lucena leads off for Bethune-Cookman here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch, breaking ball low from Tate Evans. Just when the Wildcats took the lead in the 6th, They give it away in the 7th. 3 runs for Yale, and it's 5-3. As Byron Rincones can't deal with the Yale bats. Tate Evans getting his first full inning of work started as he fires a fastball strike, 2-1. He came in after Spadaccini walked Rodriguez and gave up a double to Newton to start the last inning. It was 2nd and 3rd and nobody out, and they ended up only giving up 1 fastball high, 3-1. Because a ball got to the backstop, Jorge Rodriguez, who's maybe the slowest guy on the Wildcat roster, tried to charge home, was caught out at home. And then they scored Newton on a sac fly. There's a called strike, 2. Lucena flips his bat, was out of the batter's box, and now Michael's got to be really careful because the ump's maybe about to ring him up. Got to protect the plate here, the 3-2. Lucena pops it up, foul territory, first base side. It is caught right at the wall by DePrima. Lucena unlucky as that one barely doesn't get out of play. And now here's Sergio Rivera. Rivera 0 for 1 with a walk, struck out in the 3rd. Walked and ended up coming around to score in the 5th on an error. Now the Wildcats, after thinking they had a runner on and nobody out, will have to face nobody on and 1 out. That first pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Just past the 9 o'clock hour here in Daytona Beach. Just past 2 hours played in the ball game. That came inside. It hit Sergio Rivera as he squared to bunt, and he's going to be given first base. The Yale dugout argued that he was still squared, but the first base umpire said that he did not go. And for the 3rd time today, we'll have a conference of the umpires. The first 2 times that has happened, the call has not been overturned. Appreciate your company from wherever you are watching or listening, be that on the CatEye Network on YouTube, the CatEye Radio Network on MixLR, or SWAC TV. Stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on X and Instagram at BCU_Athletics. For the latest on BCU baseball, follow at BCU Diamondcats on Twitter and Instagram. So Sergio Rivera will remain on first after getting hit by a pitch. The first batter for either team hit by a pitch tonight. And now it's Eric Almonte, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. He's put the ball in play twice, lined out to short and flew out to center. Go back to first, Rivera in there. There is no BC without you. Show your support for Bethune-Cookman Athletics by joining the Wildcat Champions Club today. Help us build a championship culture at Bethune-Cookman. You can donate and join at bcuathletic.com/championsclub today. Throw back over there. Sergio Rivera, definitely a steal threat. Was the team leader in stolen bases last year, had 36 on 40 attempts. Wildcats down by 2 here, bottom 7, 5-3, 1 out runner on first. Pitch is a changeup outside, called a strike. And the count is 0-1 on Eric Almonte. Go back to first. That one a close one, but Rivera is back in there. Tate has made the All-Ivy League the last 2 seasons As he winds and fires, Rivera goes, throw high, down to second, gets into right field off the glove of Sloan. And Rivera's gonna hold up at second. So Rivera steals second base. That was a high pitch. Miller had to corral it, fire to second. The throw pulled Sloan off the bag, and it went off his glove into shallow right field. Rivera holds. Back on Tate Evans. He was honorable mention in 2025 and All Ivy League second team in 2024 after he pitched a team low 2.92 ERA in that season. And Tate steps off. The count is 1-1 to Eric Almonte. Almonte does represent the tying run. Andre Martinez is on deck. Spinner to throw back to second, and Rivera is there. Yale 5 runs on 10 hits. Bethune-Cookman 3 runs on 4 hits. Both teams have gotten one of their runs on an unearned error. Almonte watches one in the opposite batter's box, 2-1. Jake Oman started the game for Yale and was magnificent through 5 innings. Gave up 2 runs on 3 hits, walked 3, struck out 10. Well, 2 of the 3 guys he walked did come in to score. Almonte rips one down the first base line, but foul into the Yingling flight deck, little party area behind the Yale bullpen. So the count now 2-2 on Eric Almonte. And Almonte looks to be a bit shaken up after that swing. Trainer's going to come out to have a look at him. Almonte, a senior from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Spent last year at UCF before, after 2 years at State College of Florida. Primarily appeared off the bench for the Knights last year. 18 appearances, just 1 hit and 10 at-bats. Walked 3 times, struck out once. Now he's over here in Daytona Beach, and he's been an everyday starter through the first week of the season. He stands back in. The 2-2 is going to be a throwback to second. Sergio Rivera back in there. We've only seen Almonte bat from the left side so far tonight, but he is a switch hitter. If he gets up against the lefty pitcher, he will bat right-handed. Wildcats trying to eat into this 2-run deficit. Evans deals. Outside, 3-2. Yale trying to win game 1 of their season. Almonte rips one up the middle. It goes off the glove of Hayes and into center field. Sergio Rivera racing around third. He will score. The Wildcats get a little bit lucky, and they are down just 1. Eric Almonte rips an RBI single off the glove of the shortstop Hayes. Sergio Rivera races home, and it's 5-4. And now here is Andre Martinez with 1 away and 1 on. First pitch to him high and outside. Martinez is 2 for 3, struck out in the first, doubled to left in the third, was stranded there. Then had an RBI single in the 5th that scored Michael Lucena. Ended up moving to second on an error and being stranded there. So he's been stranded on second twice. Takes a pitch upstairs, 2-1. Martinez in his senior year now out of Barranquilla, Colombia. Transferred from St. Petersburg College 2 years ago. There's a strike on the change. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down to second, and in there with a stolen base is Eric Almonte. So now the Wildcats have the tying run in scoring position with one away here in the seventh. That also takes away the easy double play. The count is 2 balls and a strike on Andre Martinez. Broke the single season home run record at St. Petersburg College as a sophomore. Watches one in the dirt, 3-1. Then came one shy of tying the all-time single-season home run mark for the Wildcats last year at 20 home runs. Martinez fouls it away, 3-2. This a massive at-bat in the state of this game, with the tying run on second. Throw back to second. Shout out to Alabama A&M. They come from behind with 6 runs in the 8th to defeat New Orleans 10-8. Other SWAC final scores from around the league: 6-3 Pine Bluff over Stephen F. Austin. Martinez in the inner right field. That's going to get down. And they're going to hold Almonte at third base, as charging in to cut it off was Chaplin. Now runners on the corners. With one away, and the batter is Darrell Lee with a chance to really reverse his fortunes. He is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, all against Oman. He did not get a chance to face Spadaccini. He was the last strikeout victim for Oman, the last batter he faced back in the 5th. He's got a chance to tie this game with the tying run 90 feet away. Andre Martinez on first. Eric Almonte on third. Other final scores from around the SWAC tonight: Incarnate Word beat Prairie View 7-2. Another throw over to check on Martinez. Got to be really careful. Checking over to first with a runner on third. Ball gets away, and there's a tying run right there. And maybe they were just buying time to change the pitchers, which they will, in fact, do. So Tate Evans' day is done. He is responsible for the 2 runners on, as well as the run that has come in. That was Sergio Rivera. Michael Lucena led off the inning with a pop foul out to the first baseman after he thought he took ball 4 the previous pitch. Then Sergio Rivera was hit by a pitch, moved to second on a stolen base, came in on a single by Eric Almonte. Almonte then stole second and moved to third on the single by Andre Martinez. We'll take a 30-second break, and when we come back, we'll introduce you to the new Yale Bulldog pitcher here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. The new Yale pitcher is Ben Winslow, a junior from Charlottesville, Virginia, near my old stomping grounds. in Central Virginia. Didn't see any action in his first season at Yale. Last season, 15 games played, 4 starts on the mound, was 3-1 with a 3.55 ERA over 25 1/3 innings pitched. Last season, he gave up 14 runs on 25 hits, 10 earned, struck out 21, walked 15, and he is in the most pivotal moment of the game. The Wildcats down 5-4. The tying run 90 feet away, runners on the corners with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Darrell Lee is the batter. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, and he fouls one straight back over the grandstand. And it's 0-1. Ben Winslow is the former Central Virginia Pitcher of the Year at Western Albemarle High School. Righty to lefty the pitch. Outside 1-1 to Lee. He's got a very zippy fastball. Looks like it's touching the low to mid-90s. He was also a 3-time varsity letter winner in golf, Winslow, and a runner-up in the Virginia State Championships in golf. Breaking ball just misses up and in, 2-1 on Lee. Lee takes a strike down and away. 2-2 on D. Lee. Now the senior from Troy, Alabama faces the junior from Charlottesville, Virginia. The pitch. Lee strikes out swinging on a fastball up and away. 4th strikeout of the game for Darrell Lee. And now with 2 away and the tying run 90 feet away, here's Jorge Rodriguez. Jorge Rodriguez 0 for 2. A strikeout in the 1st, a fly out to left in the 4th. And he swings and misses a fastball down and away 0-1. He walked in the 5th, got to 3rd on the double by Newton, and was called out at home after he tried to scamper home on a ball that got to the backstop. And that is the biggest question mark in the game right now, because if he comes home there, we're tied, and it's not 5-4. Derek Cartaya, hitting coach, calls time for the Wildcats to talk to his graduate student, first baseman out of Ponce, Puerto Rico. The team leader in batting average last season for the Wildcats, but has had a rough start to this season. Can he turn it around and tie the game? Swing and a miss at a breaking ball low and away, 0-2. Ben Winslow trying to escape the jammiest of jams here. Ground ball, fair ball outside of 3rd. The throw from outside of 3rd base is in time. And Ben Winslow comes in with 2 on and 1 out and gets 2 straight outs to keep Yale in the lead, 5-4 going to the 8th. How big of a question mark will loom over Jorge Rodriguez tonight? The throw out at home in the 6th, unable to come through in the 7th, and we go to the 8th, 5-4 Yale here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. We go to the 8th here at the Jack. Yale has hung on to a 5-4 lead after the Wildcats plate 1 in the 7th and strand 2. Ben Winslow, the hero for the Bulldogs, as well as Dower over there at third, who made the tremendous play from behind the bag in foul territory. Chase Chaplin watches a breaking ball strike. The Wildcats making the decision to stay with Byron Rincones on the mound. He gave up 3 runs on 4 hits in the 7th. And that's how Yale took the lead. They were down 3-2 at that point. They made it 5-3. Fly ball, foul territory, first base side out of play. And the count is 0-2 on Chaplin, who is 0 for 2. He's hitting 2 double plays, both 5-4-3, and has also been called out on batter's interference. Ground ball to third again. Andre Martinez knocks it down, but it's a foul ball. Unlucky for the Wildcats because Martinez would have had a really tough play to try and get Chaplin at first. Rincones comes home with it, upstairs over the head of Chaplin. Ground ball outside of third, still a 2-strike count on Chaplin. Couple of scores from around the Ivy League. Cornell and Northwestern are playing in a neutral site in Spartansburg, South Carolina. Check swing, did he go? Yes, sir. Strikeout for Rincones, his first of the night. And there's one away in the inning. The batter will be Jack Dower.
Now batting the third baseman, number 5, Jack Dower.
First pitch to Dower, up and away. Ball 1. Dower is 1 for 3 with a double, an RBI, and a run scored. That all came in the 4th. Other than that, he grounded out to the pitcher in the 2nd and struck out in the 6th. He was the final batter, as that one is just low, to face the starter, Harvey Abreu. More Ivy League action. We've got North Carolina State beating Princeton 6-4 in Raleigh. Fastball down the middle for strike 1. At a neutral site in Port Charlotte, Florida, Miami of Ohio defeated Brown 11-8. Cornell also had a doubleheader today. They played Boston College. I don't have either of those scores for their games against Northwestern or Boston College from Spartansburg. That one caught the zone at the knees, 2-2. I don't have stats links for Mercer hosting Columbia, Texas A&M hosting Pennsylvania. And the nightcap is in New Orleans. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. As down goes Dower on strikes for the 2nd time today. 2 straight Ks for Rincones, and there's 2 down. Here's Chris DePrimo, who's had a good night. 2 for 3, 2 singles, a run scored. Singled on the infield in the 7th, came around to score, and then in the 2nd inning, singled to right off the end of the bat. Breaking ball, strike 1 from Rincones. There is a Wildcat warming in the bullpen. I expect this will be the last inning for Rincones. He is currently on the hook for the loss if the Wildcats cannot come back with their last 6 outs. Fastball caught the outside corner. Harvard is at Tulane tonight. They're in the top of the 5th. Tulane leads 5-2. Check swing, did he go? Yes, sir. 3 straight Ks for the second time tonight. The Wildcats K the side. Abreu did it in the 5th. Now Rincones does it in the 8th. Wildcats down 1 with 6 outs to go here at the Jack on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Wildcats down by 1 against the Yale Bulldogs here on Friday night.
Number 14,
Armani Newton leads off for the Wildcats here in the 8th. Newton struck out twice against Oman as Ben Winslow continues to pitch. He misses up and in with a fastball to the lefty Newton. Then against Spadaccini was the second of the 2 batters Spadaccini faced, ripped a double down the left field line and then came around to score. One and one on Newton. Newton ground ball to second. Sloan doesn't even have to move, and there's one away. Newton did come in to score in the 6th on the RBI sac fly by Junior Poyeto. And it will be Poyeto who bats now with 1 away in the 8th. Ben Winslow, who came in to replace Evans, who'd done a great job, but Evans had gotten himself into a jam, bases, runners on the corners, with 1 down. Then Winslow came in, got Darrell Lee to strike out for a 4th time. And Poyeto pops this one up to shallow left. Larson calling for it, and there's out number 2. A potential for a really quick inning for Winslow here. And he is currently on tap for the win. 2 away, here's Jose Fernandez. He struck out twice and reached on a fielder's choice. Swing and a miss, strike 1. But ripped a mammoth shot down the left field line against Evans in the 6th that barely missed being a home run. Breaking ball caught the zone, 0-2. Winslow a chance for a 5-pitch inning here. And to go to the 9th. Bounce to the plate, ball 1. Wildcats' clutch hitting, which got them through so much of the back end of last year, has seemingly abandoned them in the early part of this season. Breaking ball called strike 3. Fernandez watched it. Just 9 pitches thrown by Winslow, and he gets the Cats to go 1, 2, 3. We go to the 9th. Yale up 5-4 here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Byron Rincones remains on the hill for Bethune-Cookman as we go to the top of the 9th. The Yale Bulldogs lead the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats 5-4. Rincones getting the benefit of the doubt after he struck out the side and the heart of the Yale order in the 8th. Owen Turner will lead off. Turner walked in the 2nd, was caught in the middle of a double play. As he grounds one towards short, Poyeto with the backhand, a deep throw across is perfect. Nice job by Poyeto, 1 down. Other than that, Turner reached on an error in the 4th and got out on a bunt, sac bunt in the 7th. A couple of moments loom large over this game. The Jeter Poyeto error in the 4th that allowed Dower to score at that time made it 2-0 Yale. Jorge Rodriguez trying to come home on a wild pitch. He was cut down at home. That's a beautiful bunt. Will it go foul? It will, just barely. I think that's all on the turf. If we're on a dirt and grass field, I think that stays there. But the turf gave it the momentum it needed to roll foul. This is Jackson Hayes. Grounded into a double play in the 2nd, popped out in the 4th, got his first career hit and first career RBI with a single to left in the 7th, ended up coming around to score as well. The 1-1 from Rincones, called a strike. A busy weekend of BCU athletics continues tomorrow with Senior Day festivities for both men's and women's basketball at Moore Gymnasium. Ground ball towards 3rd. Martinez can't get to it, and it's a single for Jackson Hayes, 1 on and 1 out. Now Bryce Miller, flied out to right the 3rd, just missed a home run. Struck out in the 5th and then singled to right in the 7th. That scored Chris DePrima. This is the part of the order that Rincones struggled against in that 7th inning. DePrima singled, Hayes singled, Miller singled, and Dosa singled. With DePrima, Hayes, and Miller all coming home. Wildcat basketball playing Alabama A&M in a doubleheader tomorrow beginning at 3. You can watch the action on the CatEye Network or SWAC TV. Then on Sunday, we're back here for the second of this 2-game series between the Wildcats and the Yale Bulldogs. Both of these teams headed down to Vero Beach tomorrow afternoon for the Andre Dawson Classic. The Wildcats will take on Florida A&M. The Bulldogs will face Jackson State. Runner goes, throw down to second from Lucena is in time, he got him! Great throw by Lucena. The tag applied by Almonte, and there's 2 away in the inning, and Bryce Miller is in a 1-1 count. Takes a little bit of the pressure off here. Wildcats still down 1 here, top 9. Looking to avoid losing their 3rd straight after starting the year 2-0. Miller fouls it back, 1-2 the count. Rincones up to 35 pitches. Through 31 in his first outing last Sunday in the 7-6 loss to Bradley. Check swing, he went around, that's the end of the inning. So a hit, a caught stealing, a ground out, and a strikeout. And we're done in the top of the 9th. Wildcats trying to come back from a 5-4 deficit in the bottom of the inning here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Wildcats 3 outs away from dropping their 3rd straight game here in the opening week of the season. They're down 5-4 to the Yale Bulldogs in a game that's gone back and forth. Both teams have had the lead. But Ben Winslow has been unbelievable. He's got the last 5 outs on just 11 pitches. Sergio Rivera, the only man to score 2 runs tonight for the Wildcats, and the only one to score 2 runs tonight for either team, stands in. He doesn't have a hit. He struck out in the 3rd, was walked in the 5th, hit by a pitch in the 7th. Ground ball towards the shortstop hole. Fielded on a slide by Hayes. Crossed the diamond, and he won't get there. He'll just eat it. Sergio Rivera represents the tying run. Gets an infield single to lead off the 9th, and we go back to the top of the order with Eric Almonte. And we're going to have Chris Watson pinch running. At first. Watson has been the speedy pinch runner that they've gone to in clutch situations. Scored the winning run as a pinch runner in the opening game of the season where the Wildcats walked it off. That was a Sergio Rivera RBI single to win it. Almonte. Ball gets away from the catcher. It was called a strike as... So my apologies, I got that way wrong. Michael Lucena led off the inning. I had it wrong in my scorebook. So Lucena singled to short. Now he gets replaced by Watson, and this is Sergio Rivera. My apologies, I jumped a spot in my scorebook. So now it's Rivera who hit the RBI single to win the Wildcats the game on opening night 2-1 over Bradley. Corners in as he squares to bunt, but just try and move Watson over. He'll go bunt it foul. And the count is 0-1. Oh, correction, the count is 0-2. Dower, the third baseman, remaining pinched in on the infield grass. Potential for a two-strike bunt here. Winslow deals. Fouled away, tipped off the end of the bat. Rivera stays alive. Wildcats down 1 in the 9th, tying run on first with nobody out. That's Chris Watson pinch running for Michael Lucena. Ben Winslow comes home with it. Called strike 3, slider outside corner, 1 away. You gotta protect the plate in that scenario. On an 0-2 count. Here's Eric Almonte. He's been to third base twice tonight without scoring. Walked in the first, was stranded on third after stealing a base. Singled in the 7th. Got to third on the single by Martinez and was stranded there. That was when Winslow came in. Winslow came in the 7th with 1 away with runners on the corners, and at that point a 1-run ball game. And got a strikeout and a ground out to third to end the threat. First pitch up and away to Almonte. Then just used 9 pitches to get the Wildcats to go 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. The ground out by Newton, a fly out by Poyeto, and a strikeout by Fernandez. Yale looking for win number 1 in game number 1 of their season. They've had to wait a week and watch the rest of the college baseball world start. Almonte rips one in the air, right field and deep. That is back, and it's off the wall. Coming around third is Watson. Here's the throw to the plate. It is not in time. Watson dives in, and we are tied at 5. Eric Almonte, with the biggest swing of his young Wildcat career, ties the game at 5, and now represents the winning run on second with 1 out. Chris Watson scores. And here he is, Andre Martinez. With a chance to walk it off. Nobody in the bullpen for Yale. Time called by Yale. There is no one in the bullpen. Ben Winslow, who was immaculate through 2 innings, Gave up a leadoff single in the shortstop hole to Lucena. He was replaced at first by Chris Watson. Got Sergio Rivera to strike out looking, and then a double off the wall on the fly by Eric Almonte plates Watson all the way from third. Eric Almonte on second, representing the potential winning run. Martinez at the plate, breaking ball high, ball one. They've already tied the game with a run in the ninth. At minimum, we're going to extras. Winslow deals. Slider strike outside corner. That's the same pitch that Rivera watched for strike three. Ben Winslow, the junior out of Charlottesville, Virginia. Now just trying to keep the Bulldogs in the game. Eric Almonte on second after his RBI double scored Chris Watson. Andre Martinez at the plate. He's 3 for 4, a double and 2 singles and an RBI tonight. Martinez swinging a drive, deep left field. Adios, amigos. Los Gatos Locos have done it again. The Wildcats walk off Yale and win 7-5. Cometh the hour, cometh the man, Andre Martinez. His first home run of 2026 is a big one. The Wildcats, down to their last 3 outs, come back and beat Yale 7-5 with a 3-run ninth. Andre Martinez with a no-doubter over the scoreboard in left center field. And the Cats win and improve to 3-2. Yale drops to 0-1 with their first loss in their first game of the season. But what a baseball game we saw tonight at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. It had a little bit of everything. The starting pitchers combined for 16 strikeouts, 10 for Jake Ullman, 6 for Harvey Abreu. Byron Rincones went the rest of the way for the Wildcats. Even though he gave up 3 runs, he still ends up the winning pitcher. He struck out 4, kept the Bulldogs off the board in the 8th and 9th when it mattered the most, and allowed the Wildcats to do what they do best. Stage miraculous late comebacks. And it just had to be the walk-off hero from last season, Andre Martinez, getting his first home run of the season in a walk-off fashion. Stay with us here on the CatEye Radio Network. We will hear from Coach Johnny Hernandez. Coming up, we'll take a break, and when we come back, it's your CatEye Network post-game show with the Wildcats defeating Yale 7-5. We'll hear from Coach Hernandez next. Welcome back to Jackie Robinson Ballpark. The Wildcats are winners here on Friday night. A walk-off 2-run home run in the bottom of the ninth by Andre Martinez as the Wildcats complete a 3-run ninth to come back and defeat the Yale Bulldogs 7-5. Final line score. Bethune-Cookman 7 runs on 9 hits, committed 1 error and left 6 on base. Yale 5 runs on 11 hits. They committed 1 error but only left 3 on base. At the start, it was the pitching. Jake Oman, MLB prospect, Ivy League pitcher of the year last year, is just a freshman, was as advertised. 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, only 1 earned on 3 hits, struck out 10, walked 3. 2 of the 3 guys he walked did come around to score. Then, in the 6th, Yale went to the bullpen. Kind of shocking me. I thought that Oman had an inning or 2 left in him, but they went to the bullpen to Spadaccini. Spadaccini only saw 2 batters. He walked Jorge Rodriguez. Then he a line drive double down the first baseline at Armani Newton. He was replaced by Evans. Evans got the Bulldogs out of a massive jam as he cut down Jorge Rodriguez on a pass ball at home plate, then gave up an RBI on a sac fly to Judah Poyeto and struck out Jose Fernandez to end the threat. Evans would go through through a third of the 7th as well. Rivera was hit by a pitch. Almonte singled him to third. He scored on a Martinez single. Then Winslow came in. And Winslow, I thought, was going to shut the Wildcats down completely. He went through an inning and 2/3, the last 2 outs of the 7th, and the complete 8th inning in 11 pitches. Struck out Darrell Lee, got Rodriguez to ground out to third on a spectacular pick by Dower. Then in the 8th, Newton grounded out, Poyeto flied out, and Fernandez struck out. That was a 9-pitch inning. Then we went to the 9th as Byron Rincones, who came in relief of Harvey Abreu in the 7th, gave up 3 runs on 4 hits in that 7th inning, only gave up 1 more hit his entire run on the mound, struck out 4, and the 1 hit he did give up in the 9th inning to Jackson Hayes was cut down as a caught stealing by Lucena behind the plate. He is your winning pitcher tonight. His record now 1-0. The losing pitcher is Ben Winslow, because in the 9th, with the Bulldogs up 5-4, Michael Lucena led off with an infield single to the shortstop. He was replaced by Chris Watson, a pinch runner. Sergio Rivera struck out looking. Then Eric Almonte doubled off the wall on the fly to right field over the top of Chaplin's head. That allowed Watson, who was in there pinch running, to score all the way from first to tie the game at 5. Then Andre Martinez steps to the plate and does what Andre Martinez does best. His first home run of the year, an absolute no-doubter that probably went about 450 feet over the scoreboard in left center field to give the Wildcats a dramatic 7-5 come from behind victory. Coach Hernandez is making his way up to the press area to have a conversation here on the Wildcat postgame show. The Wildcats defeat the Yale Bulldogs 7-5. And now we are joined by Bethune-Cookman head coach Johnny Hernandez. Well, I said it a couple minutes ago, and I'm going to repeat it to you now. Los Gatos Locos are at it again. Who else but Andre Martinez to give you the walk-off win? But you don't get there without Byron Rincones knuckling down and getting clean through the 8th and 9th.
Yeah, I mean, his first inning, right, gave up 3. But again, it's one of those like bend don't break situation, so he did a really good job in the 8th and 9th inning. And, for us, right, it's just win the back third and give us an opportunity. And, we were able to do that. And Rincones, outside of the 7th inning, did his job in the 8th and 9th to give us an opportunity.
Jack Owen was advertised, 10 strikeouts. She felt like he couldn't touch him, but you had opportunities. You left a couple guys on base in the first 3 innings. I know you like to say get to the bullpen and all will be well. It ended up being that way tonight. But there were times when I thought you weren't going to get him out of there.
Yeah, no, I mean, his pitch count was kind of climbing, the first 3 innings. I think he was at like 52. Then kind of settled in that 4th and 5th inning. So we just had to, get better at bats. But again, the guys competed all night long, just proud of the fight and the grit of our guys. And, again, coming out with a Friday night W to set up, the weekend.
Jeter Poyeto, another error at short that cost you guys a run, and that probably should have ended that fourth inning where Yale jumped on top. But he got back. He got an RBI. He got it back. What has his mentality been like the first couple weeks of the season?
I mean, he's grown, compared to what he was last year, mentally. I mean, he's just in a different kind of light on his own. And that's always good, right? When you want to see the growth, especially the mental maturity, of the players as long as they're in our program. So, Jeter, listen, it's like in life, right? You're going to get opportunities. You make what you want of it, right? Whether good or bad. So the fact that he's still, head high and, not pouting and all of that, that's a positive. That speaks to his mental maturity.
Tomorrow we won't see you here at the Jack. You're headed down to Vero Beach for the Andre Dawson Classic. You'll play Florida A&M tomorrow night, national TV, MLB Network. What is your thought process going into that game? Because it's the first time, basically since I've been here, that you've played one of these non-conference SWAC games. And I know there are more forces pushing for this game to happen than just you, but what is your thought process going into a game against Florida State, Florida A&M, that ultimately won't count for the conference standing?
I think it was the right time. MLB Network and the guys at MLB Develops, they've been kind of pushing for us to get into the Andre Dawson Classic. I just, didn't feel, right, that it makes sense financially for our institution to drive 2 hours and stay a whole weekend and spend all that money when we can be at home and bring in, a northern team or somebody, outside of the state of Florida to play for 3 games. But I thought it was the right opportunity, especially after last year, 1-2. It gives us an opportunity to showcase our brand of baseball on national TV, on MLB Network. So, I'm looking forward to it. Like we told the guys, it's just one game. This one game is not going to determine anything. I mean, you obviously want to win it, right? You want to, show, that we can play at an elite level, that we all believe that we can. So, we'll make the most of it and do what we have to do and take that drive to Vero and come right back up to Daytona to conclude our series on Sunday versus Yale.
How big was that home run for Andre Martinez? Big monkey off the back, had been kind of hot and cold to start the season, and when that ball left the bat, everybody knew it was gone, and how much relief was on his face after the game?
Credit to Coach Cartaya. Coach Cartaya has been working with Andre as he does with all of our hitters. They're still trying to get their footing underneath them, and again, like, we don't expect everybody to be full throttle, 100% ready to go. The first week or 2 weeks, it's baseball, right, is a marathon, is not a sprint. So the fact that Andre's been putting in the work and Coach Cartaya has been working with him, I think that it is a bit of a sigh of relief for Andre. But again, just proud of our guys for the resiliency and the grit of our game this evening and coming out with a W.
As always, appreciate your time, Coach. Good luck tomorrow. We'll see you Sunday.
You got it. Hail Wildcats.
Once again, your final line score: Bethune-Cookman 7 runs on 9 hits. They committed 1 error and left 6 on base. Yale Bulldogs 5 runs on 11 hits, 1 error and 3 left on base. The winning pitcher is Byron Rincones. His record now 1-0. The losing pitcher Ben Winslow, his record 0-1. The Wildcats improved to 3-2. Yale drops to 0-1 after playing their first game of the season. Tomorrow night, basketball on the CatEye Network starting at 3 o'clock. Men's and women's doubleheader against Alabama A&M. And then Sunday, scheduled start time for the second game against Yale here at the Jack is 1 o'clock, but watch the BCU Diamond Cats social spaces. That time is likely to move around depending on what time Yale and Bethune-Cookman get back to Daytona Beach from the Andre Dawson Classic down in Vero. That'll do it for us here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. Producer Lee Gillum, Casey, our entire student broadcast crew. My name is Michael Torello. Thank you for sticking with us tonight. And as always, hail Wildcats.